I'm Anthony Elmore. I live in Memphis, Tennessee. I am best known in Memphis, Tennessee as the five-time world karate kickboxing champion. It was in 1987 where we wrote, produced, directed, and starred in the first movie of anyone, black or white. We produced the first independent film called The Contemporary Gladiator. White people tell black people, work hard, follow the rules, lift yourself up from your bootstraps. Even if you do that, you face discrimination from white people. Linn Sitler, our Memphis Shelby County Film Commissioner, used her power and influence to write me, Anthony Elmore, who is Memphis' first independent 35mm theatrical filmmaker, out of the Memphis film history as Memphis' first independent feature film producer. From the beginning, the deck is stacked against black people.
Freedom is not enough. You do not wipe away the scars of centuries by saying now, you are free to go where you want and do as you desire and choose the leaders you please. You do not take a person who for years has been hobbled by chains and liberate him, bringing up to the starting line of a race, and then say, you are free to compete with all the others, and still justly believe that you have been completely fair.
If you want to see the case of racial disparity, discrimination, and unfair city and county government in regards to how whites are treated and how blacks are treated, one has to look no further than to the Memphis and Shelby County Film Commission. Notice how our film poster showed up behind Linn Sitler. We are Memphis' first independent feature film producer. Linn Sitler used her white privilege, her white superiority, her white racism to erase the fact that in Memphis, Tennessee, a black film and a black film producer, Anthony Elmore, produced Memphis' first independent feature film. Linn Sitler simply just erased black history. Dr. Martin Luther King writes, there comes a time when silence is betrayal. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends, unquote. It is not just white people who allow Linn Sitler to racially extricate our black film history and honor of being Memphis' first independent feature filmmaker. It is also black on black racism. I want African Americans to look at Memphis Film Commission Board Chairman Gail Jones Carson. I know Gail Jones Carson. I know her mother. I did work in Gail Jones Carson's house. She knows about Orange Mountain. She knows about the black community. One would think that Gail Jones Carson would be proud that an African American living in the historic Orange Mountain community will be the first in Memphis to produce an independent feature film. Look at Gail Jones Carson taking a picture with our esteemed Vice President Kamala Harris. When it comes to speaking out against injustice, against black people, and the way we're being treated by Linn Sitler, Gail Jones Carson is silent. I want viewers to look at Board Treasurer Dr. Susan Moran. She looks like she talks hip, and she looks like other white people. She looks like this liberal, beautiful white woman. However, she remains silent about this injustice. Now, she's on George Klein's show, talking about film, talking about music, but she's like many other white people who remain silent. Now, the most longest running and interesting board member is Dr. O'Farrell Shoemaker. This dude is so deep into film that they use his home for filming, and he even had a film party at his house. Now, the writing says he lived in Shelby Forest. Now, I am sure he's a good dentist, but he's a great white supporter. Now, I met Fabian Matthews. He is black. Fabian was clear that he was not about to make a movie because he loves to eat. I understand that Fabian Matthews cannot say anything about the injustice of white people erasing black history because saying such can affect his bottom line. He's a black man who cannot stand up and say anything about how low down and rotten Linn Sitler is to erase our black film history. Silence is betrayal, as Dr. Martin Luther King said. Now, we want to bring Linn Sitler and the Film Commission to court and let them sweat under oath and swear under oath that they support this racial discrimination of extricating black history. I'm not going to get into all the members, but what these members are doing and what they're saying is immoral, it's unjust, and it's wrong for them to remain silent.